The whole game manager, game changer conversation is every game changer needs to manage the game at some point, and every manager of the game needs to change it every now and then. And the question is who's excellent at both, to be quite honest with you. Like honestly, Tom Brady is the greatest game manager maybe we've ever seen. Because he knows what to do, and Peyton Manning is maybe on par with him, if not better than Brady, right? Like neck up ability to figure out what's going on pre-snap. And honestly, my Wolverines almost lost in the. Or, I know everybody keeps thinking that game against Washington was in the bag. That's such a way to look back at it. But at the time, I mean, Penix has a great ability to see pre-snap what's going on. That's again for another day. But what do you see in Purdy, though, when there's mistakes that are made, where the ones he threw to the Packers, one of them was caught by the Lions? And if that happens in this game, that's going to be an issue. Is he still growing, right? He's still kind of young enough to still be figuring out what it is, but at least the light goes on at the very end, right?
Yeah, I mean, Brock Purdy doesn't even have 30 starts, so he is certainly continuing to learn. And your point about game managers needing to be able to make game-changing plays and game changers being able to know how to manage is you're spot on. It's not a catch-22. It's just a never-ending cycle of continue to talk about the same things over and over again. When I look at Brock Purdy, I hear people say that they don't think he's a great player, that they don't think that he is a driving force for the San Francisco 49ers. And I disagree. I do believe he's a great player. And I think two guys you mentioned, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, they're two of the best system quarterbacks the league has ever seen. And people get upset when you say that. It's like, oh, you can't call Tom Brady a system guy. You can't call Peyton Manning a system guy. Okay, well, what did Tom Brady do when he went to Tampa Bay? He brought a system with him. What did Peyton Manning do when he left Indy and went to Denver? He brought a system with him. These guys have a system that they play their best in. Brock Purdy has that. If you move Brock Purdy to another team and put him in a different system, he's probably not going to play as well. But that's the truth for almost every quarterback that has success in their system. So I'm not going to sit here and punish Brock Purdy because he's the last pick in the draft. I'm not going to punish him because he's in a situation that everybody dreams of with countless weapons around him and the best play caller in all of football and Kyle Shanahan calling plays for him. I'm not going to punish him for that. I'm going to reward Brock Purdy by watching the tape, seeing that he's making the throws, putting the ball where it needs to be at the time it's supposed to be there. And the number one thing that he does that adds an extra element to this offense for the Niners is his ability to make off-schedule plays with his feet. I'm talking about extending plays and scrambling. You saw that in the NFC Championship game, but I've seen that since he was playing at Iowa State in college. So I'm a believer in Brock Purdy. I do think that he is a great player. And I know he's not Michael Jordan if they're the Chicago Bulls, but, you know, he ain't a bench player either. You know what I'm saying? He like Toni Kukoc. He can give you 20 if you need it, but he also knows how to get those other guys in position to score and be the best players that they can be.
So if he's Kukoc, who's the Pippen piss that he's starting? Is it Garoppolo? Is Garoppolo the Pippen? You know, the one that he's on the floor? No, I'm just saying, you know, I mean.
No. Listen, if we're talking about the Bulls, because I was a huge Bulls fan growing up. So I think their Jordan is Christian McCaffrey. That's their Jordan. Debo is their Scottie Pippen. I would say that Brock Purdy is their Toni Kukoc. And, you know, then they got like Kyle Juszczyk, who's their Steve Kerr. He's going to give you a couple solid points here and there that are going to be impactful, just like that catch on the sideline where he was tiptoeing in his Jordans. I could keep going breaking this thing down, but the bottom line is that Brock Purdy he might not be the MVP of that team, but he is playing at such a high level, you can't win without him.
Kittle is Rodman, right?
Has to be. Come on now.
Kittle's the Rodman here?
Kittle's Rodman. I like the joke he cracked at the end of the game and on the podium, too.
Sure,
so we got some good comps.
And obviously
here.
Shanahan's the Phil Jackson, if he just, you know, had the rings to go with it, and he might have one in a couple of Sundays. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.